Hello, everybody. I would like to take you through and model for you how to close read, and then we're going to hone in and focus on the Tlingit tribe, the special tribe that we have been reading about in in the novel Touching Spirit Bear, and hopefully this will help you have a better understanding of their tribe. Our goal is also, as we're reading, to pay close attention to their culture and their beliefs so that we can tie that into the Ojibwe and the Dakota people as well. So let's take a look and do a quick review on what it means to close read. So you'll look at this Tlingit article, and as you're close reading, we're going to read the article doing the following steps, step 1 and step 2. This requires you to read the article at least twice, 2 times, very important, and to annotate the article. Add notes that explain or comment on the article. I'll show you how to annotate when we get there, and then we're going to answer the questions. So first step, step 1, when you do a close read, you're going to read the article. The objective is to identify confusing words or ideas. This is your first read. We're going to call this our first read. So the first time around, your whole objective is just looking for those confusing words or those confusing ideas. So the first time around, we're going to go through and we're going to read each paragraph. And it's nice because the way that this article is formed, it labels each paragraph for us. So in each paragraph, we're going to circle words that we don't understand. Then next to each of those circled words, we're going to write down what we think the word might mean based on how the word is used in the sentence. But we're not going to move on to that next paragraph until I understand the paragraph. That means if I don't know what the word means and I can't tell by what it says in the sentence, I need to take the time to look that word up. So let's do the first read with just the first paragraph. I will just model for you what this would look like. You obviously have to do the entire article, but I'm just going to model by doing paragraph 1 together. So this title is called Tlingit. Alaska is a huge landmass that contains many different environments, ranging from the frigid streams and tundra above the Arctic Circle to the windy islands of the Aleutians to the mild rainy weather of southeast Alaska. Now, just in that sentence alone, it told me that I'm supposed to circle words, right, that I don't understand. Now, Mrs. Olson understands these words, but I'm going to think like a sixth grader right now and think of maybe some words that you might be thinking about. So as I read that first sentence, I'm thinking, frigid. I've heard that word before. I'm going to go back and read it in the sentence again. It says different environments ranging from frigid streams and tundra. Oh, tundra. Above the Arctic circles to the windy islands of the Aleutians to the mild rainy weather of southeast Alaska. Now, when I read the rest of the words after the word frigid, I saw the word tundra and I saw the word Arctic circle. And I can use my background knowledge to tell me that frigid probably means very cold because that's what I know of the characteristics of a tundra and of the Arctic. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that that word frigid means pretty cold, and I can continue reading. So as I was reading, I noticed that there's this word Aleutians, and you know what? I can tell I hadn't actually, even Mrs. Olson has never heard that group of people before, but what I can, or that land, I should say, I've never heard that. However, I know that it has to be an island. The island of the Aleutians, right? So I know that this has to be a place. Something that I might do is go look up on the internet where that is located so that my brain can make a connection to where the Tlingit people live, right? So I might go and look up, where are the islands of the Aleutians? All right, and then let's keep moving on. So the next sentence says, Alaska consists of over 533,000 square miles, with a coastline as long that of the rest of the continental United States. Right, already my head is just picturing, wow, 533 thousand square miles. That's big, right? That's what I'm picturing in my head. The southern end of the Alaska coastline, a region known as Southeast Alaska, is the primary home of the Tlingit people. I feel pretty good now after I read that to myself. I think I know exactly what they're saying. So I'm just going to move on then to the next paragraph. This is paragraph 2, and I'm going to continue to read. So it says the Tlingit people are the largest native tribe in Alaska. Ooh, that's pretty important. You know what? I'm going to star that. I know that I am not supposed to do that yet, and I'm only looking for words, but that seems pretty important to me. Largest native tribe in Alaska. When the Europeans arrived in Alaska, it is estimated that the Tlingit population would have been around 15,000. Today, Tlingit tribal enrollment figures show a total of 16,771 tribal members. Most of the Tlingit population live in urban communities of southeastern Alaska. Now, I feel pretty confident that I understand what that paragraph means, and I feel like an average sixth grader probably understands that second paragraph as well, so I think I'm ready to move on. So what I'm going to do is I would go through and I would continue on my first read to read history about the Tlingit. Again, I would look for words that I didn't know or understand. I would continue on then to be looking at, there's the history. And then lastly, it's the traditions, customs, and beliefs. So I would read every single paragraph. It looks like there's 9 paragraphs. And I would practice that exact same way that I just showed you in paragraph 1 and 2. All right, so the expectation is that first read you're going through and you're reading for unknown words. Now, I'm ready. Pretend I read that article, the whole thing. Now I'm ready for step 2. So the next step is to reread the article paragraph by paragraph. And my whole goal is to look for main ideas. So I'm going to use a different color here just so I don't forget that my main ideas is going to be in blue. So it says in each paragraph underline 5 or 6 key words. These words should be words and phrases that should give important information about the paragraph. Remember, we learned that also with our AVID strategy from last year, especially if you continue to hear words that keep popping up over and over, they're probably pretty important. And then after I read each paragraph, I'm going to write a 1 to 2 sentence summary next to that paragraph to remind myself what it's mostly about. Now, 1 to 2 sentences is absolutely perfect. So if I go back and I read this again, I'm going to read this again through a different lens, thinking about, at this time as I read, I want to be thinking of the main idea. Okay, so let me read it again. Alaska is a huge landmass that contains many different environments, ranging from the frigid streams and tundra above the Arctic Circle to the windy islands of the Aleutians to the mild rainy weather of Southeast Asia or Alaska. Alaska consists of 533,000 square miles, with the coastline as long that of the rest of the continental United States. The southern end of the Alaska coastline, a region known as Southeast Alaska, is the primary home of the Tlingit people. Now, as I read that, I see one huge thing that pops out to me, that I know that this whole paragraph is about where the Tlingit people live. And I know that they live in Alaska, right? So I would say on the side that the Tlingit people are from Alaska. It doesn't have to be any more than that. It's really just honing in and focusing on that big idea. So this would be what I would write for the paragraph 1. So now I'm ready to move on to paragraph 2, and I'm looking at it through the lens of reading it again and reading and thinking about it in terms of main idea. All right, here we go. The Tlingit people are the largest native tribe in Alaska. Largest native tribe. When the Europeans arrived in Alaska, it estimated that the Tlingit population would have been around 15,000. Today, Tlingit tribal enrollment figures show a total of 16,771 tribal members. Ooh, that tells my brain that the numbers are going up. You know what? I think I'm just going to draw an arrow here. That reminds me and shows me that numbers are going up. Okay, most of the Tlingit population live in urban communities of southeastern Alaska. So I think the most important thing that I want to take away from this paragraph is that the Tlingit people are the largest tribe in Alaska, with numbers still growing, with the population still growing. Notice how I put that in my words. So I'm going to type the Tlingit people are the largest tribe. But you know what? Instead of saying that they're the largest tribe with the highest population, I'm just going to say that they're the largest growing tribe in Alaska. That already just puts 2 points in there because it's talking about how the population is increasing as well. So boys and girls, you're going to do this exact same thing without Mrs. Olson now. What you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to do your close read. You're going to read it the first time, looking for words that you may not understand or know, and then reading it through a second time and identifying those main ideas and writing your notes on the right-hand side.